Hi there. I am back. Been a little while, but got a new setup. Should be much better. Got an autofocus lens, so I won't be faffing about with manual focus. Yeah, so today I've got a pre-spherical 35 Summilux. The focus was completely seized, so I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there was a lot of corrosion around that ring. It's mostly gone now. But I needed to soak it in a penetrating oil, and then I baked it at a low temperature for a bit, and that actually freed it up. So yeah, we're going to be tearing that down and re-greasing. Unfortunately, the front element of the lens has some coating damage. I was hoping it was just going to be splashes of something, some substance. But after trying to clean it, it did not come off. So that kind of sucks, but only so much you can do. So that goes off. So we have the lens set to infinity at stop. So I'm just going to grab some measurements. Then I'm going to measure the inside ring at infinity. .7. I usually do it a couple times in a few different spots just to double check. 8. At this point, I'm going to remove the rear helicoid from the front. Just like that. Yeah, you can just see how disgusting that is inside. It is thick, goopy, waxy. Yeah, not good. Not good. So this will have to be removed from the rear. I'm just going to make note of where it exits. Okay, right there. So that lines up with that on re-entry. Perfect. This I'm just gonna get some of this nastiness off of there. And yeah, when I say this thing was seized, it was seized. Like there was no movement whatsoever. And even after I left it like saturated in penetrating oil for like 3 days or so, still nothing. And then I finally decided to pop it in the oven, and that's what did it. This one should be able to remove through the front. Yeah. So I don't see any marks that I could use, so I'm gonna use that. Actually, no. I'm just gonna make it work. Okay. Just very carefully. There we go. I know the re-entry point is there. Alright, and then I'll be back after I've cleaned these with some heavy duty soap. So I have all the helicoid components cleaned. Unfortunately, there is some damage from the corrosion. I'm hoping it doesn't affect the feel of the throw too much, but I guess we'll see. Before I grease stuff and start putting it back together, I always double check after I clean to make sure that stuff feels good and smooth. There we go. So that spins super freely. No grinding or anything. That's good. So that's the front section. And then this is the rear that couples to the rangefinder. And that also spins nice and freely. Good. Okay. Clean off the brush. We'll start with this one. go. Could do with a little bit more. But you don't want to do too much because then you get oil migration. And that can cause a mess. It can get on your aperture blades and nobody wants that. Basically, you shouldn't have big globs of grease. Yeah, feels pretty good. Okay, this one's going to go in as well. Hopefully without too much fuss. Maybe a little bit of fuss. There we go. All right. So got that in like roughly the infinity position. And this is roughly in the infinity position. Forgot I back these screws. I mean, I screwed them in. I need to back them out. That one came completely out. There we go. Slightly. There we go. And we we'll see if I lined everything up correctly. I feel like I did, but you never know. You never know. Feels good and smooth. I'm turning it. Sweet. So we'll put it in roughly infinity again. Move it, and then I just need to add a little bit of lubrication to the back ring here because that slides on the inside of that groove. And you don't want just bare metal grinding on bare metal. That is bad. We don't like that. I'm really hoping that you can't hear the autofocus motor. If you can, I apologize, but if you can, I can probably remove it in post, but yeah. We'll see. I haven't used an autofocus lens in like 3 years or something, so this is very novel to me right now. Okay. Oh yeah, that's nice. Very nice. Ooh, I'm excited. I had very little hope when I first got this lens from my customer because it was, like I said, just frozen absolutely solid. But I think it's going to resurrect pretty nicely. There is that front coating damage, but I mean, how much is it going to affect the pictures? Probably not that much, to be honest. It's obviously not perfect, but I mean, what are you going to do? Oh yeah, look at the color of that grease. Can you see it? I'm not sure. There we go. Bright green. That is not what you want. Not at all. Okay, it's looking pretty good. everything on these, but never hurts to be thorough. Okay. And now we can begin with reassembly. Well, I guess the rest of the reassembly. So let's line up with that screw there. Yep. There we are. Now, to install the focus stops. So there's that line there. Tricky because it's always moving around, so you gotta really feel for the threads. Aha! There we go. And I'm going to take my measurements again to make sure we're all good. So I have it set to infinity. That's this helicoid all the way back. we're within 0.1 millimeters, so that is more than likely down to just margin of error, so that's good. And for the front it was about 10.7. That's infinity. Hey, 10.8. $10.6. Yep. So we're all good. Beautiful. Yeah, that is good and smooth. This guy is gonna go on. Actually, hang on. Let me install this real quick. This is the focusing tab. These were quite controversially made of plastic. I don't know why they decided to do that, but they did. So, yeah, I don't know about that, but I think you can source metal replacements now. I feel like I remember seeing some like aftermarket companies doing something like that, but as long as you don't like refund it, it's fine. It's more just why not have it be brass or something nice, you know? Well, it's because they were trying to cut costs, but if you have one of these lenses and you have the motivation to do it, I say do it. Get something metal. It also just feel nicer. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a snob or anything. Okay, so we're just lining that little notch up with this screw. Looks good. I'm just tightening it just enough so it's sitting in that little groove. And then I go around, tighten them all a little bit. Basically just because you don't want one side to be pushed out completely. If you just tighten one screw all the way at a time. I want to do a nice gradual torquing down. Yeah, those all feel nice and snug now. Oh yeah. Super smooth. Yeah, with the Q-tip. Easy peasy. Nice. Aside from the marks on the front element, the glass on this is pretty good. And because it has marks on the front, not really worth touching the inside. So, this literally just screws right into the main body here. grippy gloves to finish tightening that down. And that looks pretty well lined up, as far as I can tell. Yep. Be easier with my gloves off. Oh yeah. Sweet. Of course, I'll double check it on a camera body, but should be perfect. Feels great. Obviously, no longer seized. Yeah, so I'll give the customer the good news. Thanks for watching.